Super Mario Odyssey, one of my favorite games that is also one of the most sold games on the Switch. So just like all the other games that were the most sold, they all got DLC and bug fixes, meaning that Mario Odyssey obviously got these too, right? Or at least the bug fixes, right? Right? Now to many, that is a bad thing. However, to me, that's a very good thing because I love glitches. Now, obviously, I could just make a video talking about random glitches in the game, but that would be boring. So how would I talk about every single glitch in the game? That's exclusive to Pre-World Peace, obviously. If you don't know what Pre-World Peace is, it is basically when you're still in the stage of doing missions, such as killing a certain boss or collecting a certain moon. And for some reason, there's just a bunch of glitches that are exclusive to this part of the game. I will also be including some moon glitches because those can only be done once in the game, which is what I consider Brutal Peace. And now, let's get into the video. By doing a tight triple jump, you're actually just able to skip the cappy trigger. This is kind of hard, and yeah, it's cool. You can just go around this little area. By doing a triple jump, you're able to just skip the frog. This has been known basically since day one. Is this useful? No. One really cool thing to note is that if you capture the frogs later, you don't trigger the cutscene because the cutscenes link to the frogs at the beginning, and they only play for the first time you capture those frogs. By jumping out of the water in a very specific area and then diving into a very specific area, you can just skip the first moon. And you can actually explore the entire kingdom with ease. And because the collision here is kind of wonky, you can just clip through the floor. Don't ask me why this works. And by clipping through the floor, you can actually just collect this chest earlier, which is really useful. If you dive into Madame Brood early, she just does not activate. This is because after getting up here in 1.0, Nintendo was like, oh no, they can just completely break the game, so they made it to where she does not activate. Which is just really funny. One really cool thing about this glitch is that the bridge that falls after collecting the first moon has basically completely accurate hitboxes. You can stand on the cubes with these. You can just jump down to other cubes, like right here. Yeah, you can stand on that. It has completely perfect collision. Like, these cubes have better collision than literally everything else in the game, funny enough. However, there are some cubes that do not have accurate collision, sadly. By redoing that one out of bounds glitch earlier, you can clip through the floor, and instead of going towards the chest, you can actually turn around. Now, there is still water here, however, there's also just a bunch of random death barriers. I died about 15 times trying to get this, I'm guessing. And yeah, if you hit the right area when jumping out of the water, you can actually land on an invisible platform. And if you jump all the way over to this little piece of land out here, do a somewhat tight jump to get over here, you can go to an area that can only be accessed by going out of bounds. And then you can go to another out of bounds area. And if you crouch on the Odyssey, you can just go inside the Odyssey because I guess the pipe trigger is always active in that area. Meaning that, yeah, pretty cool. Everything still works. The map still works here. Everything works. So, yeah, cool. One really cool thing about doing this glitch is that you can actually capture the T-Rex earlier, and there's a really funny thing that you can do with this, and that's just collecting the first moon without breaking the rock. Or, I guess here I broke the rock, but it can be done without breaking the rock. Let's just get a little special cutscene. Yes, very nice teeth he got there. Sadly, he does not show up in the cutscene. I do know sometimes, I think it's very rare he can show up. Yeah, you just see that, yep, he's still there. In the cutscene as well. Kind of ruined the cutscene. This clip is not exclusive to pre-rolled piece, however, it's a lot easier to do a glitch, and that is to see the Cappy that will be in the cutscene later. Yeah, he's T-posing. Very cool, I think. Let's just stare at him forever. Yes. Very handsome. Very handsome. When you skip the first moon earlier, and you collected a checkpoint, and if you teleport to a checkpoint that is near the cutscene area, it soft locks your game. There's literally nothing you can do. You just have to reset your game, and then watch another cutscene, then come here, and then watch this long cutscene again. So, by redoing this glitch, and doing some very tight platforming, you can actually just wait a second, you can actually just clip into the 2D pipe without breaking the rocks, meaning that the chain chomp will stay here forever, and you collect the moon. This is kind of complicated, but if you go into 2-player, and just let me find my controller, here we go. You're going to want to grab at least 2 controllers. This will be for Mario, and for Cappy, you're going to want to, just wait a second, yeah, you're going to want to throw a second player Cappy behind this rock, do not break it, and then go all the way down here while leaving Cappy up there. And if you line yourself perfectly on this lug all the way over here, just wait, yeah, right here. Line your feet like this, I don't really know. Yeah, like that. Look up, angle yourself to the checkpoint, crouch, and then shake. Controller like crazy, you can teleport Cappy up there. And also, sorry for the slow-mo, that's just how the video is. If you do a very tight triple jump in 2-player, get Cappy onto the island blindly, while still diving onto the island, and then landing in this exact spot, and yeah, you might notice that Cappy's just up there for no reason. What's the point? You look up, you can just teleport up here. Because there's a checkpoint, so if you look directly up there and hope that you hit the checkpoint, now you can just teleport up there. Cool. If you collected the chest moon and island moon early, you can actually just leave the kingdom without defeating a damn brood. And by coming back to the kingdom, don't mind that note thing, that's just part of the video. That's just part of the one video. And checking the moon list, you will just notice that you can't get the boss moon, meaning that your game is no longer 100%able. So you have to just create a new save file and accept your hour-long defeat of speedrunning the game. The first moon clip of this video is right here. Don't ask me how it works. I think it's just because you backflip and it like messes up your collision. You can just slip through walls. I don't even know how this works. By doing whatever this is, you can just flip through the wall. Don't ask me how this works. I don't even know how this works. So yeah, you can leave the shop. For some reason, Glydon can just push Jaxie, and it's just kind of fun to mess around with. And there's actually 2 glitches with this. You can push him around with just 1 glitch, and how also if you are able to push him onto the pedestal with the moon, yeah, you can get him on here without, just wait. Yeah, you can push him onto the pedestal, which will actually trigger the moon cutscene. And yeah, after talking through the dialogue, you just unlock him for free. By doing a somewhat hard roll cancel, you can just use an icicle to clip through the wall. Pretty simple. You can also get into that room. You might have noticed that he just threw the seed in there. He goes into the sub area. He grabs the moon. Wait for the animation to finish. Go back out through the door. And now the seed is completely grown. How does this work? Wait, how does this work? Well, it's actually pretty simple. By changing the time, like to daylight savings, or just like estimating your thing forward a day or an hour, it just grows the seed because it processes that enough time has gone by. By doing a somewhat hard trick, by doing a hard triple jump, or by doing that bowl and bow, then by doing a very hard jump right there, roll all the way over here, and then long jump, you can actually clip through this corner, and then if you jump over here, then you can just get up here. This is called IP skip. And this one is IP clip. By doing a roll cancel, you can clip through the door, and funny enough, Nintendo even noticed that. And then by doing a backflip here, then you can clip out of bounds, allowing you to skip the boss fight. But also, I do want to mention that there is a soft lock if you do not mash the jump button after clipping out of bounds and hitting the ground. Just be very, very, very aware of that. I was just way too lazy to get footage of that. You will see it in a glitch later. But, yeah. I guess once you get on freeze. There. And some cool things to know is that your camera will just tweak when this happens in this area. Like you can see out of bounds, you can see through the ceiling just barely. And you normally can't do this, but if you can't normally see move your camera like this. Snapshot mode is actually usable here. And yeah, it looks very cool from up here. And by collecting the moon, you will see that you can just move your camera, which is still pretty weird. By also clipping out of bounds and going over here, and then rolling over all the way to over here, you can actually slowly but surely get Harriet. Now, I cut up this a lot, but yeah, you can see that Harriet is actually able to fall down after throwing a bunch of bombs in her hair thing. And you just give it a sec, she will just fall. Yeah, you can see right there, she just completely fell, allowing the bombs that she throws to, yeah, come down. She's unable to interact with anything, and also, do not jump on her. Do not jump on her. It will completely break it, so do not jump on her. Just a cool glitch. This is not exclusive, but I felt like I needed to make the video longer. If you just crouch right there, you can just fall through the floor. If you complete Knuckle Tech in the entire story and you never collect the story moons, you can just collect them after everything else, and the cutscenes are usually bugged. Like, you can see Glide on there, you can see the platforms, which usually do not spawn there until after completing or getting this moon, and then you will just notice that this cutscene kind of bugs. I don't know why this happens. I'm guessing that it's just putting you into a game completed state, which is kind of neat. And the same thing actually happens in this moon. If you collect all the shards without collecting this moon, you can actually just break another cutscene. And the platforms do not spawn, unlike the last moon. I mean, you do actually have to collect this moon for the platforms to spawn, I believe. You also notice how the cutscene's bugged and Mario is standing the wrong way. Unsure if this is a glitch or not, but if you talk to the lady, she usually says that she needs a fish. I'm guessing that it wasn't activated here, because normally when you capture a fish and bring it to her, she will give you a moon. I think she actually, just wait. Yeah, I believe if you still bring the fish to her, she will be like, oh, it's a fishy. But yeah. Oh, here, fishy, fishy. She'll like say the dialogue, but you don't get the moon. And yeah, after completing the boss, she will now say so cute. I don't know why they even included the dialogue if you weren't going to get the moon in the first place, which is kind of stupid. By unlocking this zipper, and by doing this weird jump, backflip thing, you can just clip through the wall, which is a very new and cool moon clip, allowing you to get to the painting area early. Yeah, if you do a roll cancel there, you can... Well, yeah, if you do a roll cancel here and throw Cappy onto that thing by clipping through the wall, and then by doing some first-person crap, you can talk to this lady through the wall. And then if you go back up after getting the moon, you can just re-clip and get the moon without ever unlocking the room. One of the most notorious glitches in the game is nut clip. By doing a backflip into the moon, you can just flip through the wall. An interesting thing here is that you can also click this moon through the wall. And there's a bunch of nut clips in this, in wooden. Like, this isn't a nut clip, but you can just clip through the wall here and collect both these moons in roughly about 3 seconds, which is, I think, like, the fastest you can do moons. And how also, just this, I don't even know how this works. You can clip through the wall here with nut, and yeah, then go and grab another moon with that is also in a nut. And I'm guessing you can also clip out of bounds here, which is just so weird to me. If you do a triple jump off of this railing, you can just skip the piranha plant. I'm guessing this is not intended because if you go up to the burritos, the boss trigger is not activated. Even though, obviously, the burritos can see me, which is just kind of weird. I was unsure if the brutal ship was actually has collision or not. I was just too lazy to check. It wasn't too lazy, I literally cannot check. But yeah, very cool glitches. By grabbing a coin coffer and slowly making your way down to over here, if a fireball lands when you capture the coin coffer, it'll break the game and just do this. And yeah, you have to also collect the moon, which, yeah, is another bug nut. Keep in mind, this does have to be in assist mode. Oh, and then you can duplicate Mario. 2 Marios, but which one's the real one? By, punching Bowser the moment he's about to jump will just refresh his shield, meaning that you can just do this like where you can punch him just multiple times. Don't ask me why this works. And if you do this 3 times, it will kind of knock Bowser off the platform. Yeah, you can see right here that he just is falling through the floor.
So long, Bowser!
By doing a triple jump off of this tree, you can just get up here, skipping the bird trigger. This is actually called Meme Tree. It's a 0.5 trick jump, which means it's pretty easy, even though I failed it like 10 times. And if you go over to the bird, you can just deactivate it then, meaning that you can roam the kingdom free. However, the music will not start because you have not freed Cappy yet, meaning that, yeah, you're just going to be playing the entire kingdom completely quiet. Or with the music, I'm too lazy to check. If you actually kill the bird, it will not do anything, and then the music will start. I don't know, it's weird. But if you actually refresh the stage after killing it, Klepto will just respawn. Do not ask me why. They will just respawn. I think they just wait until Cappy gets triggered, because whenever you go close to him, or whenever you go on the trigger, it'll activate. Meaning that until Cappy gets kidnapped, that bird Klepto will just stay. Meaning that the game really wants you to lose Cappy for some reason, even though I don't want to. He's my precious. But going back to sand and going through the painting the metro, you can actually do a somewhat difficult trick. As you can see here, it's kind of hard to do, but if you crouch and shake the crap out of your controller, you can actually just... I don't even know what this is, but it's called a CRC, and it's kind of complicated, but you can just manipulate Cappy's sideways and forward, like, area. I don't even know how it works, but Lowe's% explains this really well, so I think I'm going to put that in the description, or maybe I'm just too lazy to do that, I'm not sure, but yeah. Yeah, by doing a couple more steps, you can just get Cappy to the mainland. This is very complicated, so you have to listen to this really nice sound. Get ready. By bringing a scooter down to the boss area, by placing it somewhere on these lines, there's, I think, a couple different spots. This is one of the spots that you can place it. And if you leave Cappy on top of the building and then climb this pole to allow Cappy to be seen and be loaded, and if you then capture the wire all the way by the boss, you can then teleport all the way back up here and trigger the boss. And if you turn around, the scooter's still there, allowing you to hop on it and escape the boss. A couple funny things to note is that the boss will keep running, just like all the other bosses. Cappy will actually stay outside, and you could just see that he just poofed out of existence. I guess Thanos just snapped his fingers. And if you go through pipes, these pipes, you can actually just see them being loaded in and pooping Mario out. It looks kind of goofy, I think. And you will also notice that some of the city is just unloaded. Some of the collision is still there, meaning that you can still touch some of the stuff, and some of the other stuff is not there, meaning that you will just phase right through it. I don't know why they did this. I think it's so it reduces lag and makes your Switch not a toaster, but yeah. There's actually another way to clip out of bounds, and that is by backflipping, just like the Harry boss earlier, into the Mecha Wiggler. You have to do something specific with that. You have to like backflip, then turn around and throw Cappy, so it pushes you into the wall. But yeah, you can still see the city is unloaded. You can see the Mecha Wiggler is chasing you. Like, you could see the red line there, and you can also just collect a moon during this boss fight, which is not intended. And you can also see that the Mega Wiggler is running through. That's just what it looks like before it charges through, and you can also just use the pipe to get back in the boss fight. I just find this so cool. If you trigger these 3 flies and then platform all the way up here and collect this moon to regain your dive, you can just jump off all 3 of the bugs to then just skip the loading zone for the inside of Metro Kingdom, meaning that you can just get up here without needing the inside. Yeah, I think this can be done without free piece, but you can collect the moon inside there. And now also, if I don't even know, you could, if you just sit on the bench at an angle, or if you stand on it by an angle, you can just sit on the bench by an angle. Another moon clip is just ground pounding here, then backflipping. And one thing to note is that this is actually used to get into the sub area early, or they open the map to do that. And if you do one of 3 roll cancels, I'll show the one I did. You can just get inside of the race early. It's kind of hard to do. I think this is the easiest method I did. But yeah, you don't even need to open the doors and you get into the race early. There's nothing else to really note about this. Everything still functions fine. The race still starts. And actually, all of the story moons will be just ready for you, like even the boss ones, so you can just skip the bosses. At first, I wasn't sure if I should include this, and I actually wasn't going to include this, and then I noticed that, yeah, it's exclusive because it pushes you out of the wall. And in fact, there's many things that you can do with this. You can go and collect this moon by shaking Or I guess you don't have to shake, but it's a lot easier to shake. And one of the most notorious ones is by pushing a fish out of bounds. It abuses the fact that this kingdom does not use invisible walls. They use like a suck wall thing where it pulls you back in instead of just forcing you out. And you can actually collect this moon without going like the walls, if that makes sense. And you can also get into the Sphinx room without needing the to answer a stupid riddle, even though it's made for 3-year-olds. But yeah, you can get inside here. Just move with ease. And then you're actually just able to leave. And you will just spawn inside of the Sphinx. It's kind of weird. Yeah, if you get a nut right there and use a fish, you can just jump inside the lava. By doing a vault or a very difficult trick jump, you can just wrap around the trigger for the spirit boss fight. Which is kind of cool. I mean, the kingdom is unlocked. I mean, there's 3 moons that are able to be gotten. You can still get the checkpoint. But it's not really worth doing. Like, I know the speedrun does it just so they can get a moon. Yeah, and then if you go over to the Hammer Bro, Fire Pan Bro, I don't even know what you call it. They aren't there. I think it's because it would cause a sequence break, which is not what the game wants. I do believe you can still clip in there, however, yeah, you can't even see the moon is loaded. Meaning that even if they're right there, it wouldn't do anything. Yeah, by doing the same thing earlier in sand, or what you did in sand, you can just clip through this arena. There's like no point in doing this because you can just jump around the arena. I mean, it's cool to be out of bounds there, but there's like 15 other ways to get out of bounds in that area, so there's no point in doing it. But you can escape another boss fight. And then what I was talking about earlier with the soft lock, if you just don't mash B, you can just fall through the world. And then Mario just kind of tweaks. I mean, in this kingdom, he turns white because of the fog and sand. I think he just stays normal. I don't really remember. Yeah, you can see that he is kind of moving. Like, he's like bobbing up and down because he's trying to pull him back in, but he can't be. There are invisible blocks in this area, but I was too lazy to figure out where those were. So I just decided to get a life up part and then just platform across the lava here. I did this so we can get to the meat early. You can see that, yeah, I probably didn't need the life up part here, but I did. You can see that, yeah, the forks are still here, this island's still here, and then the checkpoint's still here, but the trigger for the meat is not here. Which is kind of disappointing, because that would have been an insane sequence break. Just instantly skipping up onto the mountain. And you can actually get up there early, with a new glitch that I'm about to show you, but this isn't the glitch, but you can see that you can just roll cancel through here and get into the room without breaking the cheese blocks. It's faster, but that's kind of it. And this is Brunchin, a very famous trick jump that is extremely hard to do. There's an easier version in 2-player, but this is the single-player one. This is a glitch because you're not meant to get here early. This can be done to get to Mushroom Kingdom in 13 minutes. Yeah, here's one example of the way you can get up to the mountain early. It's by climbing with the Goombas. Is it worth it? I'm guessing yes, it could be faster, but there's no point. It's really hard to do. But yeah, you can still collect the multi-moon if it's there. You can see, yeah, the multi-moon is still collectible. And there's another way to do it, which is about 55 times harder to do. Or what it says, triple jump, throw the turnip, and then just start jumping off of each other. Just jump off the turnips, and just climb. I don't even want to try this. Like, you can just see how difficult it is. Like, what is this? What is this monstrosity? But yeah, you can also get up here through that way. You want to escape another boss fight? Well, here's what you have to do. Go into 2-player, leave Cappy outside of the arena by just throwing him and keeping him away from you. And then when the boss fight starts, Cappy's still there. So if you ground pound him down, the fire thing, or the fire bubbles are gone, but they aren't loaded, but the fork is not, so you can actually escape through the boss fight like this. The camera is very wonky. Yeah, you can walk around the kingdom, and it will just randomly zoom out. I sadly did not get footage of going inside of the one loading zone, like inside of the mountain or the cave. You can go in and it will completely break, like everything's black, like it's just insane. I did not get footage of this. But yeah, this camera thing happens when Bird is spitting out the lava. Even when you get really far away, like I use snapshot mode and it just gets you so far away. The camera still is bugged. I guess it's trying to figure out where to put the camera, and you can also see that the bird is outside of the arena because it has to stay with you, and because there is no limits for the bird, it can just leave the arena, which also causes no animations to be given to the bird because it's not actually meant to be outside, even though it can be. So you can see it T-posing right there, which is pretty cool, I'd say. And one cool thing I found is that if you use the binoculars, their animation just kind of gets bugged. Yeah, you can see a closer up of it T-posing, that's its model, but the only thing the binoculars that got changed, or the only thing that got changed with them, is just that the animation's bugged. I think that's just because it's like with a custom camera, and that's just not compatible with the binoculars. This is similar to the coin coffer glitch. If you get hit by the Goombas, capture the piranha plant when it has a rock in it, and then dive over to a moon, it will do the exact same glitch as earlier, where it will duplicate Mario and let you control two things. However, it's slightly different. Or this one's different because enemies actually will spawn. You can see that the spike thing targets that. The final glitch of the video is Moon Cave skip. Pretty easy skip. It isn't easy, but by doing a ground pound and jumping off the Sphinx, you can escape the cave. Only it can be done after World Peace. It's just way harder. Hey, made it to the end of the video. That's kind of surprising. If there's any glitches I missed or you're confused why I added, please comment down below. This video took me like 2 months to make, mainly because I have the attention span of a goldfish, but obviously I recorded all of this in like one take, so that's why it's crap. But yeah, please like and subscribe. I should be releasing a new video, I'm guessing, in a month. Maybe 4, maybe 2 weeks, it's unsure, but yeah, keep supporting me, I hope. Please support me. Bye.